still figuring out how these things work. We have a few things prepared for you guys today, so I hope you tune in and have some questions, and later down the line, just let me know what you think about the whole thing. So we are now in the Swiss Watch King studio, and I'm gonna invite some people to tune in for our live, so they know we are live currently. So hope everybody's okay. Hope you had a great 2020, and hope that your family is safe and just basically, everybody had a good year. It was not easy for anybody of us, but I hope you still managed to, make the best out of this. I'm doing the recording on my iPhone because I don't have a, proper setup yet for, live streaming, but I hope the quality is okay. I've set up a few lights, so I think we should be fine. Let me just align it a little bit more. Here we go. So guys, today we have a few different topics we want to discuss. The first one will be the giveaway we did in the last video. That's actually something we're going to talk about at the end of the video. But first of all, I want to get into the Q&A. I asked you on Instagram to, set a few questions for me. So I'm going to go through them now. So the first question we got was actually, let me check the IG. If you don't follow me on Instagram, just do that now. It's at Swiss Watch Gang. You guys, set a few questions in, so we're going to answer them for you now. So the first one is, which is your favorite Richard Mille model? So my favorite Richard Mille model is, and I also checked it out online so I don't get the reference number wrong, is the RM2701. It's the one where the movement and the tourbillon is suspended by cables. Something I really admire, and I just can't believe they made it work. It's an amazing piece of watchmaking. So the second question was from Lord of the Pen on Instagram. He asks, what's the best value Rolex to start a collection? So if I would buy a Rolex watch today, I would probably go for the Air King, the 2020 or 19 model, not sure. The Air King is, I think, one of the coolest Rolexes out there at the moment, which you can still get at a retail price and no, exceeding waiting list. I think, again, it's a watch I personally like, and it has the crown. The logo is essentially gold or yellow, and the Rolex name is also, I think it's written in green. So it's, I think, the only Rolex which has the actual logo on the dial, as it should be, in the color scheme it is. So the Air King is definitely something I would get. Or the Explorer 2, because I think it's underrated. And there was a cool video from Bark and Jack where he spoke about the potential growth of the basically Explorer 2 in the next year, because they might bring out a new model. So let's see what happens. So the second or third question we're gonna go into is from Max_15500. And now Max asks me, do you sold a watch? If the answer is yes, do you regret selling it, and which was it? So in the past year, I haven't sold any watch. Oh no, that's not true. I actually sold my Gerald Genta, which you saw in my collection video, with the brown dial. I don't regret selling it, because I think if you don't wear a watch, why should you keep it in your collection? Just try to maybe, sell it and buy something you like a bit more. So Max, I sold a watch and I do not regret it, because the money will go into the next watch. So the next question comes from sk.watchmaker. He's a good friend from Germany. I visited him once before, and he's just an awesome guy, so give him a follow as well. He asks, is there any watch do you want to get in 2021? I am actually on a list, or a waiting list, if that even exists, for a couple of watches. The first one I think I'm gonna get is gonna be a Rolex, but let's see for which one they call me. Again, I might be even optimistic. And I'm also on the list for a few AP watches, which for me is one of the brands I really love. The next watch I'm gonna get is actually gonna be in the next 2 weeks probably. So stay tuned on my Instagram account. I'll do a story about it, and you'll see which one I got. Maybe even a few fancy shots. So the next question comes from the Wrist Guy. He's also a cool guy on YouTube, has his own channel with I think 13,000 subscribers. talks in German, but also you can, put the subtitles on so you have it in English as well. He asks, why are you focusing so heavily on micro brands and very specific niche brands and models? So, Burak, for me, focusing on niche brands and independence is something that I love dearly. It's for me how I started my journey in watchmaking in the watch industry. I didn't start with Rolex, Omega, and all those fancy brands. I started with going to Urwerk, going to MBNF, Acrivia, Rudy Silva, and Christophe Claret and a couple of other brands at the beginning. And I just personally love them more. I just think they're more creative in the grand scheme of things, and I just love how they work. And actually, it's easier to communicate and to get a watch from an independent watchmaker than from a big corporation. So imagine if I text, let's say MBNF, hey guys, could you lend me a watch for the review? It's much easier to get a watch from them than it is to get a watch from, let's say, Omega or Piaget, because the time it takes you to write them an email and actually them responding and sending you the watch is unimaginable. That's why also. And again, I personally collect independence and I want to in the future as well. So that's where the focus and the passion comes from. So SK Watchmaker asks again, any big projects coming this year on your YouTube channel? Yes. So this year depends how much traveling COVID will allow us. We have some really cool things planned. So we're gonna travel around the world to do more in the collector interviews and also some manufacturing visits. We have a lot of collaborations planned in this year, so stay tuned with fellow YouTubers, Instagram people, and so on. So definitely this year will be focused more on less reviews maybe, but more creative videos, something that you guys like, and also the microscope video that we did last time with Pierre. We want to do this a regular on the show, so be sure to see more of microscope videos in the future. So the next question is from Abdullah Watches on Instagram. He asks, what is your top 3 watches under 10K and who do you think will be the rising star of 2021? So my top 3 watches under 10K would be, and it's in no particular order, let's say Holtinrich watches. It's very nice guy. I think he's from the Netherlands, near Amsterdam. 3D printing watch cases and then polishing them by hand. It's just immaculate job, and I hope to have one of his watches in the future, or also just want to review. So the second one I really like would be Sartori Biard. I also have one of his watches today on the wrist. It's the latest mirror watch I got. I received this one maybe 3-4 weeks ago, and potentially I'm gonna do a review on it. I'm not sure yet. It's a watch where it's basically everything is mirror polished. As you can see now on the reflection, you can see me talking. Hello. So this is mirror polished titanium, really hard to do, and the retail price is around 3,300 euros. So again, for a watch like this, great value, and I think somebody should really get a watch like this in the future. So the next watch I think is a really good value under 10K is Dorn Zone or Henschel watches from Germany as well. And maybe Cartier watches under $10,000 are also something I would get into. And also if you like Rolex and Omega, those are always good things to consider. So the next question is from Dapper Dutch Dude on Instagram. What is your dream piece collection? So my dream piece collection, 3 pieces would be a beautiful chronograph, preferably something in the range of A. Lange & Söhne 1815 chronograph, a tourbillon watch, maybe from Daniel Roth or an AS Vacheron or a vintage Breguet. And the third watch would be something sporty and not really too crazy or too in your face. Maybe something from Seiko, like a diver, or what I have here, my Hublot Singapore Watch Club edition. I wear this watch a lot, and I think is actually very low key. So this is one of the sporty pick. Singapore Watch Club asks, while you're on this topic, why are you what are your favorite cities in the world and why? So definitely Singapore is one of them, as you know already. I love going there to eat food, to travel, to get a bit of the hot weather, and just to visit all my friends in Singapore. It's a great watch city, so there's a lot of watch collectors in Singapore who have crazy watches, amazing designs, like really exotic materials. So Singapore is definitely one of them. One is also Dubai. I just like it. Looks cool. Every time you go there, you feel like you're on holidays and you can eat anything, you can see anything you want. I would definitely want to go skydiving in Dubai. That's one of my goals in the future. And the third city would be, let's say, my hometown, Ljubljana. That's where my family's at, and I just want to go back and see everybody. And again, it's good living standards there, and nice food, cheap food as well. And it would be nice to see the family again. So the next question, let's see. Chirag Sevani asks, what's the most common misconception of independent brands compared to mainstream? I think the most common misconception is, or the biggest problem is, people don't know enough about watches often to really compare them. Like I sometimes get comparisons like, why would you get, let's say, this Kudoki watch if you can get a Submariner from Rolex? And I'm like, it's not even the same category, not the same watch, not the same brand, not the same level of craftsmanship, of manual labor. One company makes 1 million watches a year, the other one makes maybe 100 watches a year or 200 watches a year. So you can't compare these two. So I think misconception is always a lack of understanding and knowledge, and also people think they will lose money in independence, which often isn't the case. If you have this one, for example, it's the latest collaboration from Louis Erard and Yannick Halter. We did a review on this watch also, and we launched it actually when it came out. This watch was retail priced at 3,500 Swiss francs. Now they're hovering around 6 to 7,000 Swiss francs on Chrono 24. So essentially, if you bought this watch, which is an independent, you made $3,500. So I think having sufficient knowledge and buying the right independents might even make you more money than buying a Rolex watch. Again, all depends what you also like to wear, and people usually collect independents just because they like different stuff. It's not really that they dislike Rolex or Omega or all these mainstream brands. They just think that their personality suits more, a watch like this, which I tend to agree to. That's why I bought this watch for, the same money I could have bought a Omega Speedmaster, for example, or a Grand Seiko or something like that. But this one fits my personality better, the Sartorius Ghost watch. So I hope I answered the question, Chirag, but thank you for setting it. Another question is from Oda Sama. He asks, if you could create your own watch, which complication would you like to integrate? So the complication I personally love the most visually is the chronograph. I don't think I would use it, but it's just something that really looks cool if people or the brands execute it nicely. So for example, if you look at the Langens in an 1850 chronograph, or if you look at the Panograph from Glashütte, or some old Lemania chronographs, or Roger de Buy chronographs, Breguet chronographs from the older days, they just look amazing. So I think a chronograph would be a watch. If I would do a watch, I would make a chronograph, just because I love it visually. Or a tourbillon, a flying tourbillon probably. Or a minute repeater if I had the money to do that. In the best case scenario, I would combine a minute repeater tourbillon chronograph. Here we go. So we have my dream watch, so to say. Next question is a bit of a random one. How old are you? I'm 29 years old. That's for answering this one. So the next question is from the username on Instagram called ZMIZNIZOCII. Sorry, it's a bit of a long name. So what's your favorite or dream car? So the car I'm looking into, and I want to maybe buy it this year. I'm not sure yet. I'll see how business develops. I want to get a Jeep Wrangler. I currently have a Jeep Renegade black version. So I really like the brand. I like what they stand for. I like the rough look they have. So a Wrangler would definitely be something I would get in the future. So hope that makes you happy. Or a Maserati Gran Turismo. I love Maseratis and Italian sports cars, so also something to consider. Next question comes from Le Petit Prince underscore ch on Instagram. He asks, how did you start your journey with watches and what's your favorite memory linked with it? So the journey started, 2009, when I basically found a watch from my grandmother and I saw the movement of it and I just started researching about watches. And because I started the research, I really fell into it and I started digging more and more about it, and I really loved how watches work, how how they're put together, and that's it. And then I dropped out of college in Slovenia and I moved to Switzerland to pursue watchmaking. And then after 5 years, I became independent. I opened up my marketing agency and I help watch brands and retailers in Switzerland to create Instagram accounts, content, and to basically create more customers. So depends. You can start on different levels, but that's my story. Cool, guys. Thank you. There's a lot of questions coming in. We love you. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it as well. So, what's the next one we should check out here? The top 5 watch grails. Again, I would probably just let me get a sip of water. I would probably buy a 1815 chronograph from Lang & Söhne. This is one of my favorite watches, and really I think it's a watch that everybody should take a look at. And I think, again, not to maybe speculate that the price will go up in the future a lot. So yeah, let's see what happens. So the next one would be Leia Y asked, small second or central second? Very specific question, Leia, and I know you are a very specific person. Honestly, either or, depends how the whole dial looks. I would prefer a small second or a central second. I like the central second a bit more, like I have on this watch and also on this Hublot, because it's just bigger and the dial looks a bit more animated. This one has a small seconds dial, the Vianney Halter Louis Erard collaboration, but I also don't mind it because it's symmetrical with the top hour indication. So it really depends on the watch. I am a fan of like something moving on the dial, so a watch which has nothing moving on the dial is a bit of a harder sell for me. But also I wouldn't mind like an Uhrwerk or something like that. So yeah, definitely. Thank you guys for the questions. Let me also check out what I wrote today, what the itinerary is for today. So many of you asked what's planned for, this year. Like I said at the beginning, a lot of things, collaborations. So just hit the subscribe button and, share this video and share my channel with more watch, lovers. This year we started the channel very, I think, extremely well. Last year, 2020, we started the channel with 3,800 subscribers and we finished with 17,000 subscribers. We had a lot of good videos, which you guys, of course, pushed and helped me to get more views on. And I think what I've seen from the growth and the community, which was created out of this, that we want to offer you more interesting videos and also to introduce more people to the channel, like create more collectors interviews, go visit a few boutiques in Switzerland and also in around the world, to also go and maybe do some factory visits. That was always a big wish of you guys, so that's definitely something I want to check out in this year. So stay tuned. There's a lot coming and there's no stopping us. Also, we are currently building our website where we will curate a few special products for you guys to buy. I often get asked questions like, where do you buy your watch rolls or watch stands or travel cases, or do you have a watch winder, and so on and so on. So definitely it's something we will start curating in the future, and then see how it goes on. So yeah, definitely this year, big plans, and we're gonna basically try to execute on all of them. So thank you really for the massive support and also for being there for me and shaping the channel. Everybody that comments under my videos, I try to answer them, and also we take feedback really seriously. So if you tell me, hey, show us this watch or that watch, or create more b-roll, or try to go into the history of the watch brand a bit more, we try to accommodate that. And I think it's really important to listen to your audience and make them happy, because we are doing this channel for you guys. Cheers, by the way. And yes, this is water. It's not whiskey, or it's not tequila or something like that. It's a good old Zurich tap water. Let me know if you want to see more lives in the future. It's something I definitely want to do this year. Ask more, answer more questions, and just get to know you guys a bit more. So let's get to the main question, which was asked from one of my friends privately. He asked, what were your favorite watches of 2020? So this is a tough one, because a few watches I got were my favorite ones. Amongst them, the Sartori Biard Ghost watch and the Louis Rar Vianney halter. And also, there's not so many watches this year that I think were impressive. I could go on and explain to you, okay, this many brands, these watches, but it has to stick out in your mind. So a few watches that we covered and I really liked was the Zenith Defy 21 Ultraviolet. That's one of the coolest watches I saw this year. The Moser Streamliner, which I haven't seen in person yet, but I really like the bracelet, so I want to see how it looks in person. And the green dial is also super cool. I also wrote them down on my laptop so I can tell you guys a bit easier. The next watch I really liked is the Genius watch, which we had the pleasure to review on the channel. If you don't know which watch this is, just go on my channel and search for Genius watch. It has a blue thumbnail, amazing watchmaking, incredible time indication, which I never saw before. So something I'm really looking forward to see what they're gonna come up with in the future. And there was some cool stuff from MBNF as well, for example. So I like the MBNF HM3 Frog, which had a crown with a special, not function, but a special perk, where when the sun hit the crown, the reflection showed the Battle X rotor MBNF uses. So that was something really cool, I think, was integrated from a jewelry light, artistic light perspective into the watch. And also the MBNF Evo Perpetual Calendar, great watch. I would love to put it on my wrist and even own one. From what I heard, they sold out, which is incredible for the company. Congrats, MBNF, but definitely something I like. So guys, let's go to the last part of this video, and it's actually gonna be the draw of the giveaway we did with the latest video. So the latest video, if you watched it, we went to Style of Zug in Zug, visited my friend Samuel Naldi, and we spoke about incredible pens. In that video, we decided to also give away a ballpoint pen from Montblanc, which is the Montblanc Miles Davis ballpoint, a pen worth $750, and we're gonna ship it out directly from Samuel to whoever's gonna win the prize. So we had a total of, let me check the stats. I wrote down everybody that commented under the video, and also follow the instructions in the description. We had a total of 89 people that were signed up in the giveaway. Essentially, I put them down on a Excel spreadsheet. Let me give the brightness a bit lower. So I took an Excel spreadsheet and I basically have written them down here. And now we're gonna put that number into Google's random number generator. And we're gonna put in the number 1 for the start and the number 89 at the end. And then we're gonna press the number generator. Here you go. So as you can see, we have put this was from before, so just this number. We put number one and how many were, in the entry. And then when we press generate, we're gonna get the number. Here we go. And we got number 87 here. And let's check who is the lucky winner of this beautiful Montblanc ballpoint pen. Number 78, not 87, 78 is MD. So if you see, it's a bit hard because it's a smaller screen. MD won the giveaway. Congrats, MD. I'm gonna leave a comment on your username and then just let me know your information so we can ship you out this pen. And that's it. I mean, exciting stuff. I also like writing instruments. As you can see, I have my Montegrappa custom pen here, which is essentially engraved, and there's a beautiful wood here, and it's great to write, So definitely something I want to feature more in the future. Beautiful luxury pens and accessories, and just everything that comes to mind, basically. So MD, congrats on the giveaway. We're gonna contact you right after we're done filming this video. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you want to see more videos like these in the future, comment down below, share with somebody, subscribe. I wish everybody a healthy and amazing 2021. And I'll see you guys next week. Thank you for watching. Let me try to shut down this now.